Hello, boys and girls. This is Miss Moreno. Welcome to Eureka Math, Module 2, Lesson 3. Let's take a look at today's title. Today's title is Interpreting and Computing Division of Fraction by Fraction, More Models. Right, so in one lesson we did fraction divided by a whole, then we did whole divided by a fraction. Today we will be working on the division of fraction by fraction with models. So let's look at the learning targets. I will use fraction bars and area models to show the division of fraction by fraction with common denominators. I understand that to get the quotient when dividing fraction by fraction, I must ask how many groups of the divisor are in the dividend. So let's see what that looks like. So in the opening exercise, it says draw a model to represent 12 divided by 3. So I'm going to start by drawing a tape diagram and label that 12, and I'm going to divide the 12 into 3 equal parts. And I know the value of each unit is 4 because 4 times 3 is 12. Now it says create a question or word problem that matches your model. So we don't have to solve it, we're just creating a word problem to go with it. So I know that my whole number is 12. So I'm going to talk about cookies. 12 cookies are shared with 3 friends. How many cookies does each friend get? Right, so again, it could be anything. 12 cards are shared with 3 friends and so on, as long as you're showing 12 divided by 3. Okay, let's look at example 1. This is where we will be dividing fraction by fraction. So write an expression in unit form and then draw a model to solve. So I'm going to start by showing you 8/9. I will start by drawing a tape diagram. And I'm going to partition my tape diagram into 9 equal parts. And I need to show 8/9. So I'm going to shade in 8 out of 9. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to keep shading until I shade in 8 out of 9. Now I want to know how many 2/9 are in 8/9. I need to label 8/9. So how many 2/9 are in 8/9? So since I partition this tape diagram into 9 equal parts, each unit has the value of 1/9. Because if I were to add them, I would get 9 out of 9, which gives me 1 whole. Now I have enough information to solve this. I want to see how many 2/9 are in 8/9. So here's one group of 2/9. And again, because 1/9 plus 1/9 is 2/9. So that's one group, 2 groups of 2/9, 3 groups of 2/9, and 4 groups of 2/9. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 groups of 2/9. So here we have 4 groups of 2/9. Therefore, the quotient is 4, right? The answer is 4. So I can conclude that 8/9 divided by 2/9 equals 4. Because again, we're asking how many 2/9 fit in 8/9? 4. The answer is 4. Let's look at example 2. 9/12 divided by 3/12. So I'm going to start by drawing a tape diagram, and I need to show 9 out of 12. So just like in the other problem, I am going to partition my tape diagram into 12 equal parts. And as you guessed it, I am going to shade in 9 out of 12. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to keep going until I shade in 9. And I have 9 12s. Now I know that every unit has the value of 1/12. So before I can show you 3/12, every unit has the value of 1/12. So I'm looking for 3/12. So if I add 1/12 plus 1/12 plus 1/12, I get 3/12. So that's one group. And then again, 1/12 plus 1/12 plus 1/12 is 3/12. So it's two groups, three groups. So you can clearly see I have one group, two groups, three groups. I want to know how many 3/12s fit in 9/12s. So there are three groups of 3/12. So I can determine that 9/12 divided by 3/12 equals 3. I'm not going to go over example 3 because it's a little different. It's going to have a remainder. I am going to do that with you live, but I am going to move forward to the exercises. So I am skipping example 3 for now. We will do that live. And I am now on exercise 1. Exercise 1 says, write an expression to represent each problem, then draw a model. How many fourths are in 3/4? So I'm going to show this to you in two different ways. I'm going to do a tape diagram, and I'm also going to show you how to solve this using a number line. So let's start with the tape diagram. First, let me set it up, right? Because I need to write an expression and then draw a model. So if I want to know how many fourths are in 3/4, I am dividing. I am doing 3/4 divided by 1/4. And just like in the previous problems, I'm going to start by drawing my tape diagram. And because it's out of fourths, I'm going to partition it into 4 equal parts. I need to shade in 3/4, so 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. I know that the value of each unit is 1/4. And now I need to see how many 1/4s are in 3/4. And this is a little bit easier because we're only grouping them by 1. So here's one group, two groups, three groups, right? 1, 2, 3. There are 3 1/4s and 3/4s. So I can conclude that 3/4 divided by 1/4 equals 3. Now I'm going to take this exact problem and show you how to do this using a number line. So again, 3/4 divided by 1/4. I'm going to draw my number line. And we always start with 0. And I'm going to increase by fourths. 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4. And I'm going to label 3/4, just almost like we did with the tape diagram. So in the area where I have the 3/4 that I labeled in blue, I want to know how many 1/4, how many groups of 1/4 I can make. So here's 1, 2 groups, and 3 groups of 1/4. So I can conclude that 3/4 divided by 1/4 equals 3. Now, which one should you use? You use the one that makes more sense to you. I'm skipping number 2 because I want you to do that on your own, and I'm going to go over number 3. So if you look at this one's a little bit different. The numerator is actually bigger than the denominator. Now, I have found it that in the past, my students prefer to use a number line. Now, it doesn't mean every student, but most students prefer to use a number line when you have an improper fraction, such as 9/4. Let me show you what that looks like. I'm going to draw my number line. We always start with 0, and I'm going to go up by 1/4, all the way, right? 2/4, 3/4, 4/4. And you might say, well, do I stop here? This is the beautiful part about doing a number line. I just keep going. 5/4, 6/4, all the way to 9/4. See how simple that is when you do it on a number line? And let me label. This is 9/4. Now I want to know how many 3/4 are in 9/4. How many groups of 3/4 fit in 9/4? So let's count. 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4 equals 3/4. That's one group. And then again, 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4. Again, that's another group of 3/4. So we're grouping every 3, and that gives me 3/4. So I can clearly see that there are 3 groups of 3/4. 1 group, 2 groups, 3 groups. There are 3 1/4 in 3/4. So now I can conclude that 9/4 divided by 3/4 equals 3. And the rest of the exercises we will do in class, because again, those will have reminders, and I will teach that to you live. So make sure you watch the videos before you go on the live stream. Thank you, boys and girls.